This video is so important. Take a pen and a paper and write down these tips that I'm about to give you. Hello my fanatics, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for watching one of my videos once again. And if you're new here, welcome. I hope you do stay and become a part of my journey as I become Dr. Andy. I know guys, it's been a minute without me dropping any study tips videos, but I thought because now we are approaching the final exams, let me actually give you guys something. My work schedule has been so hectic, so please guys, do bear with me. So on today's video, I want to talk about something that is really important, something that also I haven't mastered properly, but I hope the tips that I'm gonna give is going to help you, especially in this exam season, and that is how to manage your time as a student. So we all go through those days where when you look back at the end of the day, you realize that actually you haven't been productive, you didn't do much. That time you had the full day to actually do your schoolwork, but you were not productive at all, simply because you are probably struggling with managing your time. I think time management is the best skill you can ever master as a student, because without this skill, you'll always fall behind. You will not do your work in time, you will not have enough time to study for your test, so you always feel not prepared. So that's why this video is so important. Take a pen and a paper and write down these tips that I'm about to give you. So number one, each and every day you should have your academic goals. What do you want to achieve on this day? Because without setting goals, you will literally touch one topic and leave it, touch another topic and leave it, try and do this, watch this video and leave it in half, because you lack a sense of direction. You didn't set your goals. So before you start a day, maybe before you even start a week, set your academic goals for each and every day. Decide what topics or what subjects you would like to study on each specific day and what you would like to achieve at the end of that day. Do you want to finish a topic? Do you want to finish a YouTube tutorial? Do you want to finish a past paper? What do you want to achieve on that specific day? That will give you a full idea of what productivity means, or whether you've been productive on that day or not. Because if you do not have any goals set for the day, you can't just do a topic or two and be like, "Whoo, today I have been so productive." You just did a little bit of work. That doesn't mean you've been productive. But if you set a list of goals that you would like to achieve and tick all of them, at the end of the day you look back and be like, yes, I was actually productive, because you do have something to show and something to prove that you've been doing something. And this falls into the next point. Have a schedule. Have a daily schedule as a student. Know the time that you are waking up, the time that you're starting your classes, when you have a class, when you don't have a class. Have a time when you are taking a break, when you are eating dinner, when you are traveling. Have your day scheduled up, even if it is a day when you are not going to school. Because if you do not have a schedule, you will literally just wake up and feel like you have the free will to start working at 1 p.m. and, you know, take 2-hour breaks and do random stuff, because you have not scheduled your day. So each and every day, with the plans and the goals that you have for that day, make sure that they are scheduled. Make sure that you have a time limit for each and every specific thing. You can make use of like a daily planner, or if you do not have a daily planner, you can make use of the templates that you can find on Canva. They have really nice templates for daily planners. You can print those out, or you can use them digitally to actually plan your day. Well, I think we have gotten past the easiest steps. Now let's get into one of the hardest steps that I also struggle with: procrastinating. Procrastination is really a thief of time. Like, you can have your own schedule planned, your own study timetable planned, but if you won't follow it, it is completely useless. If you set goals, you set a to-do list, and you do not follow that, it is completely useless. And this is caused by procrastination. Well, I do not have so many solutions when it comes to procrastination besides do it. Just do it. But I can give you guys tips on how to actually overcome procrastinating. Number one, you need to get rid of all the distractions that you are facing in your life right now. For example, your phone might be the biggest distraction. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, it might be your biggest distraction right now. That's the first thing that you need to get rid of. So when it comes to your phone, you can limit your screen time, especially if you're like using an iPhone. You can go to the settings. I'll insert a video here to show you guys how to do that, where you limit your social media time. So you can set that for the whole day, I want to spend 5 hours on social media, and then when that 5 hours is almost over, your phone is going to alert you that your social media time is almost over, and then your phone will actually lock all the social media apps that you've selected to be part of the apps that you want to limit yourself from, if that makes sense. So now you have control over this thing that keeps on wasting your time whenever you want to study. And if you use like another phone, like an Android phone, you can definitely download apps that lock certain apps in your phone. For example, social media apps. So you can download that and you can give them an instruction to lock your apps for the next 6 hours or for the next 8 hours of your study session. That will minus one big thing probably that you might be struggling with, that might be causing you to procrastinate. Because sometimes, you know, like, you set all your goals and stuff in your timetable, and you're sitting on your desk at a library and you want to study, and all of a sudden you find yourself scrolling on TikTok or trying to watch a YouTube video or whatever case may be. That then leads you to going way beyond your study break, now spending 3 hours on TikTok, now studying a new Netflix series, and you do not want that. So minus that out of the way, and let's deal with other factors that may cause you to procrastinate. So another reason I usually find myself procrastinating is because I set big goals for myself, or I wanna start with the hardest tasks first. And I find myself dragging the process of actually starting, because I'm like, oh, whatever I'm about to do right now is so boring, it is so hard, I don't like this topic, I don't like this assignment, and I end up dragging to start to a point where I never actually start at all. I want to give you a tip, unpopular opinion: start with the easy topics. Start with the easy assignments, start with the homework of your favorite subjects, start with the things that you are so looking forward to do. Because it is better to be productive to a certain extent than never being productive at all. So if you have certain favorite subjects, for example, in high school I was a big fan of maths, so I would usually introduce my studying with doing maths, you know, for the first hour, and then I progress to the subjects that I don't really look forward to doing. So if you are that person who, for example, today you set a timetable to study maybe like physical sciences, and you know yourself that you are not a huge fan of physical sciences at all, the subject bores you, it is so hard for you, start with a topic, or you know, start your session with a subject that you really love. Maybe you enjoy English, start that session with, you know, reading your poems and answering a few questions from that. Then when you have like now the momentum, then you can go back to actually doing physical sciences. Another thing that you can do, you can break down your work into small chunks. For example, if you have this big assignment, for example, an essay that you have to write and submit, when your mind thinks about the essay, they see 2,000 words that you need to type in one go. But then what you like to do is break that into small chunks. And now imagine if you tell yourself that just for today, I just need to type a paragraph. I just need to type 200 words. I don't need to think about anything else. Just for today, let me type a paragraph. Do you realize now how easy it is for you to actually get into it? And then now you realize in the next 10 days the essay is done. But if every day you want to think about the essay and you think about 2,000 words, your brain is going to tell you that is such a lot of work, we cannot do it, we are tired, we had a long day. And then now you find yourself that in the next 2 weeks you haven't started that essay at all. But if you tell yourself that the only thing that we have to do today is just to memorize the functions of the ear, we just to label the eye just for today, the next day we're going to deal with this certain topic. So you want to break down your goals into small chunks, right? It could be divided into a period of a week, or it could be divided in a period of a day. You can say, in this morning I just need to solve algebraic equations, right? And then around after lunch I can then do geometry, and then after dinner I can then do financial maths. Instead of you saying right now I want to do algebra, financial maths and geometry in one sitting, let's go. You're gonna feel so exhausted. Your brain is gonna feel like this is just like not gonna work, especially if you're struggling with that subject or you hate it. So spread out your goals or your tasks so that your brain actually looks at it and say, this is really possible for us to do. It's a small thing, let's just get it over and done with, instead of just like setting such a huge thing that you have to do and you end up not doing it at all. The last point I'm going to mention that can help you stop procrastinating is having an accountability partner. That friend that you say you have, use them. Use them for the better. It is final exams. Let them serve the best ever purpose in your life by keeping you accountable when it comes to your schoolwork. Have a study buddy if that is what it takes for you to get going. A study buddy doesn't mean that now you guys have to be sitting and studying word for word together. It could be just someone that you are going to the library with and they are studying at the far end of the corner and you are studying at the far end, just that you are keeping each other accountable, that every day you are at the library. You don't have to be even in the same space. I remember while I was in matric, I had like study buddies, but we were never studying the same topic, the same subject. We were never even studying at the same place. But what we did was like, okay, this evening we are cross-nighting. I do not advise for you to pull an all-nighter, but it is what it was. So we'll be like, okay, tonight we are pulling an all-nighter. What we did, we called each other every 3 hours, I think. So if we were gonna start studying now at 9, at 12 we would call each other, are you still awake? I'm still awake. At 3, are you still awake? I'm still awake. At 6, are you still awake? Oh, I'm going to sleep. So that could be your accountability partner. That's how you can do it. That's how you can do it with your person. Obviously it depends from how your friendship dynamic works. It depends on your different academic needs. If you are friends with someone who's really smart, I mean, it'll be very beneficial for you two guys to study together, because then they can help you in some way. They can explain some other topics, and if you guys are both smart people, you can share notes and you can really do great things as a team. So if you are a person who is struggling with consistency and you have a friend that is constantly, you know, studying and they are consistent, please ask them to take you along. Don't honestly, just ask them to take you along. Time to play is over. Okay, now let's say you've set your goals for the day, you have a study schedule, you stopped procrastinating, and you are ready to study. Studying also can take a lot of your time if you study hard and not smart. You need to study smart and not hard. You also need to manage your time during your study sessions, because studying a topic that you're supposed to finish in an hour, in 3 hours, it's not good time management. You have to manage your time as well during your study sessions, and this is how you can do it. The best tip I recommend that you use when it comes to your study sessions, and what is actually working for me, is the Pomodoro technique. Well, I've talked about this technique in a couple of my videos. For example, in a video where I was explaining to you how to study for long hours without getting tired, and other parts of my videos as well. So the Pomodoro technique is basically studying in small chunks and taking breaks in between. So when it comes to timing the Pomodoro technique, it depends on your concentration span. So if you want to know how long is your concentration span, start studying, like pick a book, even if it's reading, start doing that and start the timer. The moment when you feel like now you are reading over one sentence for like the 3rd time and you still don't know what it says, or you still don't understand anything, it means that you have reached your concentration span. Or if you find yourself now looking at your phone, looking for the time or looking for notifications, or you're now just like looking around and you're thinking, maybe I should just go get a drink, go to the bathroom, like basically you have lost focus. That's how long your concentration span is. So for example, if that happens around 20 minutes, that means that that's how long your Pomodoros should last, right? So which means now you're gonna study for 20 minutes and then you're gonna take a break. When it comes to a break as well, you do not want to take a break that's more than 15 minutes, because if you take a break that's more than 15 minutes, you are going to lose the momentum, right? So breaks, you can take a 5-minute break, a 10-minute break, and a 15-minute break. Some people have a longer concentration span. For example, they can go up to 45 minutes of straight studying without losing any focus. So your Pomodoro will be 45 minutes of studying and 15 minutes of a break. 45 minutes of studying and 15 minutes of a break. I do recommend that after finishing 3 Pomodoros, if you are that person who studies 45 minutes, you can take maybe a longer break, like a 30-minute break, or you can take an hour break. That could be your lunch, that could be your dinner break. But if you're a person who studies like in small chunks, 20 minutes here and there, then you can, you know, go up to maybe 6 Pomodoros and then you take a longer break. So now, during your Pomodoros, when you are doing your work, avoid multitasking. I know some of us think we are really good at this multitasking thing. You'd open half of your screen is your essay that you're typing, half of the other screen you are watching a TV series. Guilty. Half of the quarter of the screen you have opened YouTube to see if your favorite influencer uploaded a video. A quarter of the screen you are watching. Stop it. Stop it. Focus on one thing that you have decided to focus on at that time, so that you can move quicker and get it done easily. And also, like, focusing on one thing helps you with your concentration span, because it becomes longer. As you train yourself, you realize that now I can concentrate for more than 20 minutes. You know, when it comes to your Pomodoro, it doesn't mean that if initially you were a 20-minute study, 10-minute break person, you can't go up to 45. You can. You actually can go up and improve your concentration span. And that starts with making sure that you focus on that one task that you are doing. Another problem that one can encounter when they are studying that can waste or take a lot of time is taking down notes. So I have made a video showing you guys how to best summarize notes in the most effective way, and I've shown you guys different ways on the video. Do watch that video, because during this time, especially during exam seasons, you don't want to copy the whole textbook on your notebook. It's gonna waste your time. You want to make sure that you've made concise, short summaries that you can use to revise when your exams are now near. And you do not want to take a lot of time just copying and pasting. That is really not how you do it. So effective note taking skills will save you a lot of time, so go watch that video. Another thing that I'm going to mention when it comes to notes, if there is ever a way that you can limit writing down notes and focus on actually studying, use that way. For example, if you have lectures, those who are in university, you can print out the lecture slides, and when you now study using another resource, whether it's a textbook, whether it's a YouTube video, you can just add extra notes on top of the printed out notes, instead of you copying the lecture slides onto your notebook and then sitting down and watching a whole YouTube video and adding those notes into your notebook. That's just gonna waste a lot of your time. And if you are in high school as well and you feel like there are these notes online that have been summarized really well, you can just print them out. You don't need to copy, you know, and paste them on your notes. You can literally just like print them out. And obviously it applies to those who do have the resources to get notes printed out. So if you do have means to save time in terms of note taking, do that. I just have 2 more tips to give you on how you can better manage your time as a student. Learn to say no. Learn to say no to certain things, especially during exam season. If they are inviting you to go to a party, to go out, to do this and that, learn to say no. There's nothing worse than disappointing yourself because you feared disappointing others. Prioritize your studies at this time, and if it means missing important stuff, missing important family gatherings and all that stuff, do it. I remember in my matric years, I couldn't attend a lot of my family gatherings because I was focusing on my studies. I couldn't do much during my school holidays because I was focusing on my studies. I couldn't go out, I couldn't spend time with friends because I was focusing on my studies. So learn to say no to other commitments or other stuff and prioritize your studies. The last tip that I'm going to give is, if you are a person who travels for a long time to and from school, use your travel time to study. I remember when I was in high school, I was taking a bus that took 1 hour and 30 minutes long to reach to school and 1 hour and 30 minutes long to go back home. And that's literally 3 hours of my day spent on traveling alone. So I couldn't waste that time. I used it to study. I would open my textbook, start reading stuff, start, you know, highlighting stuff. Even if maybe I didn't get, you know, a chance to write stuff down because the bus is moving and it's, you know, it's not like there's no good balance in there. But I knew that, okay, you know what, I've read something, I've highlighted something. Then when I get home, I can start writing it down. So if you are that person, use that time to be productive. Secondly, during your break times, if you are still going to school during exam season, if your break is 45 minutes long and you take 15 minutes to eat, don't waste the 30 minutes laughing and spending time with your friends. Honestly, every little chance that you get counts. Take that textbook, study, take that past paper, start tackling it. Every little chance that you do get. If you get a free period in your class, use it. Use it to write the homework that they just gave you from the previous class. Don't wait up until you get home. It's literally in the smallest changes. Like by doing those, you'll realize how much time you have really saved. Do not wait for a perfect time to do something, to do a homework, to read a topic. If there's a free period and you didn't plan to study a certain topic in that free period, study that topic. The topic that you're gonna study at home, start studying it now. The homeworks that you were gonna take home, start doing the homeworks during that free period. If it happens that school all of a sudden ended at 12 p.m., don't be like, oh, I didn't plan for this, I don't know what to do right now, I'm just gonna use this time to do whatever. No, it is your chance to now either do more than you have planned, or use the time to do the stuff that you have planned, but now you have more than enough time to actually do them. So it applies to each and every scenario that could ever happen in your life where you thought you were gonna be occupied during this time, but all of a sudden there's a free time. Use that time to study. Ending this video, I would like to remind you guys that time management is a skill. It is not something that you are going to acquire immediately after you finish watching this video, or you are going to acquire in a week. You need to practice up until you get it right. So be patient with yourself, be kind with yourself. If something doesn't work out, change it around. If your study time doesn't work out, switch it around. If your study timetable doesn't work out, you can change it and see what works for you. But I hope this video really equipped you with the tools and the knowledge to help you manage your time better. I wish you all the best with your upcoming exams. I'll see you on my next video. Bye.